What's up everyone, Sean here, and today I just wanted to actually sit down and do this fashion of the channel update. I am kind of in the middle of something, like I'm trying to think of the next video for the channel in my head, which I will go into more detail about that later on in the video, but I'm kind of trying to stay in that mode while I try to get this out of the way, which is a little overdue in my opinion. But so I do apologize for the late channel update once again, but I've been keeping myself busy, and for the sake of channel and for the sake of my my passion and stuff like that, so keeping myself busy as of late. So but I do want to get this out of the way, and I've been kind of thinking about whether I should continue doing these channel updates or not. I think maybe sometimes they're not really necessary or whatever. Maybe I don't really have to do every month of these things. I don't know, but I at the same time I do like to talk about some things, to get it off my chest or let you guys know what's gonna be going on or what's been going on with me when it comes to stuff related to the channel that's in real life and stuff like that, kind of a way to vlog, just like a number of people do, just to express themselves or get things off their chest or off their mind, just for the sake of I don't know, just to satisfy something within them, in ourselves, I guess you can say. But I've been thinking about these things because it does take time, right now I could literally be doing writing the script to work on the next video that I want to really do, but at the same time I guess this could be a way to kind of shortcut things. Sometimes I do like to do the video version, where or with a camera on me, on my face, just so that you guys can see how I'm doing, on the visual side of things, just like a real vlog would do, at least the popular ones anyway. But I don't know, just something I've been contemplating about in the background. And maybe if you guys have any ideas or feedback or anything like that, if you guys don't really need the channel updates, or you guys like the channel updates, please leave those comments in the section below. I always welcome some sort of channel feedback. I'll do my best to take note of those and take those into consideration into my final decision when it comes to certain video series or what have you, in the future of this channel. So but anyways, let's just get on with the show, with the channel update. So meanwhile, I'll be talking with some random gameplay in the background. I'll probably throw in some Grand Blue or maybe something else, but we'll see. I guess it's only fair for Grand Blue, right, since it just came out last week, I believe, and as I record this at least. But anyways, my voice is actually going out because I was doing something else, so if my voice sounds a little funny, then yeah, that's the reason why. So anyway, so for the usual, let's start with some real life stuff, and we'll transition over to movies or whatever gaming I've been doing, and what we've done for the channel, and also what we're gonna be doing for the rest of this month anyway. So real life stuff, gym has been more or less the same, I like to say, although the past few weeks have been a little rough. I guess it happened during right in the beginning of March, because while I was sleeping, I guess I pulled something on my lower back, and so as soon as I woke up, I felt some real noticeably awful pain in my lower back. Luckily, it's not my backbone, thankfully, but it's my lower back muscle nonetheless, more on the right side if you want to be a little more specific. But which is kind of funny because every time I sit down for like a very long time, in certain situations, not especially, definitely not in my office chair or my gaming chair, I should say. But it's pretty comfortable. I have a seat cushion for it, so that definitely prevents that from happening. And I'm also moving around my back, so that definitely helps. But when it comes to me like sitting in a more like still sort of like immobile position, such like especially when I definitely remember whenever I do those like Pokemon card openings, my back always just starts to give out, man. Like it's just so, it's awful, and that same spot always kicks up whenever the time comes, and it's like what, 2 hours in or something like that, or an hour and a half in, and my back starts to give, and it's such a weird thing because it's just that one spot. And then one day a few weeks ago, that very spot, like I felt pain there. It's like a cramp. It was awful. There were times where I just try to do like a deadlift sort of position, just to kind of like see how my back is, and I actually felt something. I was like, uh-oh, so I actually wind up not doing deadlift for a short bit, trying to be careful with my back and all. And it was a little hard at work, and thankfully while at work, it didn't happen during like the coronavirus outbreak sort of slash scare. Now it's been happening for a good while now, I guess, or for a couple of weeks or a month, let's just say. Thankfully my back wasn't too bad, but whenever I was driving back and forth from work or to work, I can start feeling it. And just a couple of days ago, I actually visited my friend Esfaka, who's been on this channel for several occasions, and he's kind of been known for Mortal Kombat stuff in the past. But anyway, I visited him just to just for kicks, and I got to check out his room and his setup and everything, which is actually really cool. And we got to play some fighting games offline, stuff like that. 1v1 and everything, so it was pretty cool. We played like Grand Blue and Grand Blue Versus, and we played Smash later on for a good amount of time. So I actually stayed there till like 4 in the morning. I was like, yeah, I gotta get back. So I had to drive across the freeway late at night, but it was a fun little venture. It was kind of out of my way, but it was like a good hour and 10 minute drive, and the traffic wasn't terrible despite being on the 405. Like there's this one spot that always gets kind of clogged, but other than that, like it really wasn't that terrible, as much as I thought it would be. So wasn't too bad, because whenever he drives down to my house, he tells me it's bad. But I guess it just depends on the time and the day, and of course what freeways you gotta take. So I am glad to have that happen. But when it comes to like a pleasant drive, but even with the relatively pleasant drive, I started to feel something in my back, and I was like, oh man, it's pretty irritating. And I have to like kind of curl up in a ball just to like stretch out my lower back, and I've been doing it a lot more often now. And just today, oddly enough, it recovered massively, to a massive degree. I still feel some sort of stiffness, but it's definitely not a lot better than before. So I'm pretty thankful that now it suddenly got a lot better, and pretty much is gone, I guess you can say. But yeah, I pretty much got to do lower back stretches every time I wake up, and whenever I'm not really doing anything on my desk. So that's pretty important. It definitely gave me some notes for later on in life, and that's to do whatever stretches you can, whatever is convenient at your desk, because a lot of people are sitting at their desk nowadays, whatever it's for, like just watching YouTube stuff or Netflix, or just like a lot of computer stuff, let's just say internet, whatever you want to refer. But we're at our desk a lot, man, and so we easily forget that we gotta like take care of our bodies and muscles. And so if you definitely neglect on those things, you'll later regret in life, because it'll hit you at some point. And I got a bit of a sample of that, and I felt so maybe that might have been why I have not really paid attention to my lower back when it comes to stretches. I do like I do the what do you call it, when you like try to reach down to your tippy toes, that sort of stretch when you're standing up. But apparently you gotta do more than that, I guess, for your lower back, and that's to do the curling position whenever you're sitting down at your desk, or coming from your when you're waking up from your bed, like curl into a ball, or do like the almost like a baby position sort of pose, until you like feel that stretch in your lower back, and that's how you prevent lower back pain. Now, of course, you got to pay attention to the rest of your body, of course, like your arms, your shoulders, your upper back. That's important too. But yeah, just like twist your back. Of course, always be careful with your stretches. Don't take it too far. You'll definitely pull something. Take it slow, take it easy. Just do stretches. It's whatever stretch you do is better than nothing, I guess. So it'll definitely help with your body. Take care of yourselves. And that's one more way to stay healthy, and especially when you're just sitting at your desk, like at the desk like me, as I edit, or I just go on watch anime or play video games or whatever it is. I do a lot of sitting, and I gotta definitely keep that in mind from now on. So I'll do my best to do them stretches. So anywho, that's for the tip for the younger audience of things. But speaking of work, as I touched upon that, it's been ridiculous. I haven't talked about work in a long time because nothing really has been changing or been different. But this time it is different, so I'll definitely talk about it. What's different about it is the output that we have to do because of the coronavirus scare that everyone's been a part of. I guess you can say one way or the other, because a lot of people have been buying a lot of water. Not only that, like toilet paper, paper towels, soap, hand sanitizer, like any sort of quote unquote necessity to stay clean or to hydrate or to clean yourselves. Those kind of supplies are just like dropping left and right at stores because people are just buying them from the masses, and now like a lot of the stores are like forced to like ration them out, let them only buy like 2 per person or something like that. It's ridiculous, and I think this whole thing is definitely overplayed or over exaggerated in my opinion. Sure, like it is a little dangerous to a degree because we don't have our vaccine or antivirus sort of cure updated for the coronavirus. It's been around. That's the thing. It's like an old sort of illness or disease or whatever. It's just that we haven't really paid attention to it, and that's why it sort of popped up, and we're just like, what the hell? You know what I mean? And these things do happen with different diseases and illnesses. We had the SARS. We had way back when it was like Ebola. That was like one of the older ones, right? Like smallpox was kind of around at some point again, and that's like an ancient freaking like illness, man. Smallpox, that's like that's like ancient civilization sort of thing. I don't know. I'm not the biggest expert on ancient history, but it's an old disease. You know what I mean? And some other stuff too, like H1N1 and West Nile and SARS, I think I said, and swine flu, that was another big one. I think bird flu was another one too. Mad cow disease, you name it. There's all these things always pop up here and there, and I don't know. I think it's been worse every time because of how much we pay attention to the internet now, and how much they put out stuff, and on the internet nowadays, how much the media uses the internet, and that really sticks to your head more because we're stuck on our phones, we're stuck on our tablet PCs, we're stuck on our PCs in general nowadays because of social media and all that fancy stuff in between, Netflix, whatever, blah blah blah. Like we're more prone to it for some reason. It's just like it really multiplies the effect of these things, and we wind up as a whole being more scared. So I've never really seen like this ever since maybe 2012, the end of 20, or what was it, like December 21st 2012, if anyone remembers that at all. Also Y2K, that was like the most recent one I can like really think of and remember about that, like, and to that same or similar degree of like people like going out and buying all the canned food and everything, like people treat these things like it's the end of the world, of course, or the apocalypse or zombie outbreak, whatever, man. And this whole coronavirus thing it's just ridiculous. And this could all been prevented. This could all been a lot better if it wasn't for, our sort of team where they look out for these things, the viral outbreaks and all that stuff. I think it wasn't that bad because of it. But this time around, we didn't have the same staff or the same people who were running these things, probably throughout the world, definitely not in the United States. And so that's why it's probably gotten a lot worse this time around because of our carelessness as a whole. So anyways, I don't want to make this into a political thing for the most part. All I'm going to try to say is that we had a lot of work because of it, and we had to like pick out so many more orders. I would say like 6 times the usual amount, which is crazy. And we had to get these out within 2 hours or something like that, right? So it is nutty of how we were able to pull through each time. We barely go pull it off or whatever. But it's just crazy. It is so nutso that I have never seen anything like that all my years I've been working in the warehouse. And I mean, granted, I've been there for almost 3 years now, but I work a good amount of days per week, and I've never seen anything like that, I've never seen anything like that in general, like I haven't, like, when was like, when was the last time you've heard of a Costco or Sam's Club or anything like big old outlet sort of bulk store running out of something, right? So having those stores running out of water is like unbelievable because of the whole thing. But so anyways, work has been pretty busy, but we managed to pull through, and at the end of the day, it's just work, but it's just the additional work from the coronavirus. So obviously someone's gonna thrive from it, and it's the online stores who have everything. So Amazon's probably making bank off of it. But unfortunately, a lot of places aren't doing so hot either, because no one's traveling, no one's going to places. So you can't have the concerts, you can't have the gaming events, you can't have, well, a lot of things. So this whole scare is just affecting a whole lot more than what you really think about every day until it hits you. So it definitely brings up a lot of reminders. But anyway, enough about the coronavirus for now, I guess. So, anyways, when it comes to movies in February, I definitely watched Sonic the Hedgehog. I also watched My Hero Academia, which I did, both reviews for them, which you can find on the channel. And I think that's about it for movies, right? Yeah, I think so. So anyway, the ones that I can remember anyway. But anywho, let's see. Anything else I can think of? When it comes to real life stuff, no, not really. I guess I can share this story where we went to it was like in January. We went to this place that we used to always go to on our own or with our families, right? With our own families, and then like at one point we come together and visit this one place. It's called Mulligan's, right? It's one of those family fun centers like where you have like batting cages, go-karting, and arcades and stuff like that. And of course, for me, the arcade is the biggest attraction because it had back in the day, like Marvel 2 and Tekken 3 and Street Fighter Alpha 3, I believe. It had a good amount of fighting game stuff, and also like Virtual Cop and Time Crisis stuff, and there was this one shooter game with like the gun and everything that had like mechs, and like it was really cool. You can like hold down the trigger and you can feel like the rumble and everything with the machine gun that you had as a default weapon. It was really sick, and you shoot down other mechs and stuff like that. Really cool. I forgot what it was called, sadly, but those were the days. And as the years went on, it kind of started to change for the modern sort of audiences, like putting in the mobile game stuff in there, like Fruit Ninja, Angry Birds, and all that stuff, Flappy Bird, that sort of thing. There's some cool games left, and like they had the Jurassic Park one, they had another game, I forget what it was. I don't want to say it's the Luigi's Mansion one, but it's something like that where you can like sit in this like huge cabin with your one other friend, and shoot stuff, right, or whatever it is. But anyways, it closed down in February, unfortunately, and that was like the last of it. And there was like this huge auction of all like the arcade machines and stuff like that, and like I was kind of like sort of tempted as a joke to like at least put in the bid for like one of the machines, but a lot of them were broken, unfortunately. So there was really no point for me, and plus I would not have enough room for the world to have these machines in my own care anyway. So for me, it would be pointless, although it would be really funny if I actually won at least one of those machines. So anyways, a lot of memories there. We went there last time to celebrate my friend's birthday, who actually is right after mine, so that's why it kind of like was still my birthday sort of thing, and it was his birthday, so we kind of had a good time, and we tried most of the things, like there was rock climbing and all that stuff, but we didn't do like the laser tag that was added later on during its years, which is kind of a shame because I never went to that laser tag and was always curious about it, but oh well, I mean, it is what it is, so that's that. But it is sad to see places like that kind of get shut down, especially for like the video game ones, the classic arcades, but those days are kind of like gone in the wind sort of thing. Understandably so, because of console gaming has vastly improved for the most part with online gaming and all that stuff, so you don't really have to leave in a way, but man, it's just not the same. The scene is not the same, which is where the FGC comes from, the arcade days, and a lot of arcades are just shutting down, sadly, but there are ones still around, but they gotta have a bar. Like the liquor, alcohol, all that stuff, gotta have it. That's how you make the money, not the arcades. Also, you gotta have bowling. That's how you make money too, you know, and that's why places like Round 1 are still around. So that's how you do it, I guess. But who knows how long those are gonna last. The one with the bars will probably last longer. I mean, although funny enough, Round 1 also has a bar, so that probably will last a good amount of time as well. But I don't know, man. We'll see about that. But I hope a long time for those places, because I still go there from time to time with friends to just check it out and play some games, you know. So, anyways, what else? I think that is it for the real life stuff. Really, that's like significant, I guess. But anywho, I would like to move on to what I've been playing through the past month. So one of them was indeed Azure Lane Crosswave. Azure Lane is based off of the mobile game with Ship Girls. That's not content collection, but it is popular in its own right. Its own anime has been coming out. From what I can understand too, like they actually are releasing the rest of the episodes finally, because they delayed it due to some quality reasons. And so hopefully those last 2 episodes are, you know, up to quality, and hopefully they'll continue after that. They'll have more seasons, whatever. But I'm not gonna hold my breath on it, just because it's just one of those things for mobile games. It's definitely not as big as Fate Grand Order, but it's just nice to see a good amount of characters in, well, anime form. So it was nice while it lasted, to say the least. But I hope for more in the future. But maybe, I don't know, maybe someone else will pick up the pieces and continue where it left off. I don't know. But anyways, a video game has come out for it, and I guess in short word, I would have loved to do a review video for it, in some shape or form, but you know, things are picking up, and so it's hard to keep up with like the videos I want to do and stuff like that, and the games are starting to pick up. You know, it's the new holiday sort of season. You know, early spring is the new holidays when it comes to video games. But anyway, Crosswave is alright. It's very basic. If you play like any of those Gundam games, it's kind of like that, but in a more simpler format. You're pretty much like in a bullet hell sort of situation. You try to just dodge as much as you can, avoiding any bullets of sorts, or torpedoes, missiles, that sort of thing, or bombs, of course. But it's alright for what it is. If you really like Azure Lane, I would probably wait for it to go on sale, because it's on Steam. And you know how Steam loves those sales, right? Especially during the summer. So it's definitely probably better off to wait for the summer, and then they'll have the sales and stuff, and you can pick it up then, because it's an alright game. But yeah, you know, again, if you're a fan of Azure Lane, then it's something for you. There's a lot of dialogue in the story mode. There's a lot of voice dialogue, which is nice. But if I were to give it a rating of sorts, I definitely would probably give it a rating of like, you know, probably at the very highest, a 7 out of 10. Like, it's very average, very mundane for the gameplay part, but you know, the visuals and stuff like that, they're okay too. But again, if you're like are really into Azure Lane, this might be a game for you. But it's also grindy too, so like if you're really gonna grind and spend that much time, you're probably gonna be spending more time on the actual mobile game anyway, because there's more events, more characters, more stuff to do, more stuff to get. There's more reason to get it, I guess. And I don't know how much they'll put characters in the Crosswave game, so it's hard to say. But if they put my favorite character, which is Hideo, then I will be much more on board with Crosswave. But I don't know I don't know who else is gonna pick up the game, honestly. But I'm just being honest with it. That's just how I feel about it. But if you really like Azure Lane, you can give it a shot. Go ahead. It's for those fans anyway. But that's why it's like on a budget, because it's really more for those people, honestly. Not really for the general audience. But anyway, I also bought the Yakuza Remastered Collection, which has 3, 4, and 5, which is kind of like basically a port from the PS3 game, or the PS3 era, now brought over to the PS4 side of things. Unfortunately, it's not the same with the Kiwami games, like, you know, Yakuza Kiwami and Yakuza Kiwami 2. Because, you know, I guess they didn't find it much of a benefit when it comes to like the PS3 side of things. But I think they should have put some time into it. I think it would have still worked. But if that means that it'll have the absolute originals, like the same sort of like gameplay mechanics, then I would appreciate that, because I have very mixed feelings about the Kiwami side of things, or especially with Kiwami 2. That's where they actually really changed the fighting gameplay sort of thing. Kiwami, the first Kiwami game, it was still like much like, you know, it still had the 60 frames per second sort of look to it. It had all the cool moves and everything, and it just didn't feel as heavy or clunky, you know. And so that's why 3, 4, and 5 didn't get that treatment. But because it didn't get that treatment, that means we will be able to play how it's originally intended, I guess you can say. And so kind of get to experience the old Yakuza games once more, so which is kind of nice. So anyways, I believe that was all the major games that I got for myself, right? So now we can move on to what we did in February for the channel. So we did quite a bit, because, you know, there are some videos I actually put time into. I put together a Biolith compilation that, you know, because Biolith came out for Smash back in early February, or I think it was like late January, but the video came out in early February no less. I talked about the stuff that was happening with Grand Blue Versus, like the scattered release dates, which was a little disheartening. I discussed about Evo 2020's lineup. I talked about the Sonic the Hedgehog review, and then the My Hero Academia movie review, you know, Heroes Rising. And I even put a lot of time into the other Smash compilation I did. It's titled I'm Still in a Dream, because I used a song from the Metal Gear series, which is something, you know, you should probably give your time for, because I definitely put some time into it. I think it's funny to watch, you know. If you have a chance, you haven't checked it out already, definitely would recommend it. And there was also myself reacting to the Animal Crossing Direct, which is I'm definitely looking forward to. Some gameplay stuff for Azure Lane, and also more hypecasts. And lastly, I was really happy to. Oh yeah, I mean, never mind. It's like right in the early March sort of lineup. But anyway, now we can pretty much go into what we're gonna do for the March of things. So March, we already done some work, because you know, this channel update is a little late, like I said. But for what it is, I did the review for My Hero Academia, which I didn't realize it was in March. But yes, this one though, I was really happy that I was able to get together with Danny, because he was pretty busy for like the last 2 months. But we got it done, which I was really happy with, which is the top 10 movies from 2019, which is really fun to do, because I got to know what he thought was his top 10. He got to know what my top 10 was, which is fun. So I was really happy that we were able to get it done. I also did put up some sort of gameplay video for the Final Fantasy Remake demo, which is it's still blowing me away of how it's looking so far, and it's just really awesome. So I definitely look forward to it. But for now, for March, I'm definitely gonna try to do my best to put up a review video for Animal Crossing. I'll try to do something from Grand Blue Fantasy Versus as well, because I was looking forward to that game, and it's out now, and so I want to do something with it. So probably review. I'll try to put up some gameplay videos for it at some point, besides this one, of course. And I'll probably put up just like a raw version of this one, whatever you're watching, and then some, you know what I mean? But a review video of sorts will be nice if I could get around to it. I've been really trying to do my best to try to get out a like top 15 or 10 games I look forward to or anticipating for as of March 2020. I'm trying to really get that out there as soon as possible, because I do want to get it out before Final Fantasy is out, which is in April. So I do have still some time, but you know, sometimes just things get distracting. So it does get hard, and things are just hard to keep up with, which is why I really hoped I get this out of the way. And plus, I gotta play Grand Blue Fantasy if I'm gonna do the a review of sorts for it, and not to mention Animal Crossing, which is coming out in a couple weeks. So, or in fact, 8 days as I record this, which is crazy. But anyway, that's pretty much all I got in mind I can talk to you guys about. That's all I got. Anything else goes spontaneously. So I guess that's all I got. So my voice is starting to go out for some reason. So anyway, let's wrap this up. So thank you guys so much for tuning in for another channel update. What do you guys think? Should I continue doing these channel updates or not? It's really helpful. It's interesting to hear some feedback of sorts. So those comments are very much welcome in the comment section below. Of course, keep them related. Really appreciate that, because I understand there are some people out there who really want to see certain things, but there are other things I want to do because it's just my passion. That's how it is, and it's just hard because getting my friends back together is not as easy, and people just don't understand that. It's not easy to teach, of course. It's just something you have to experience for yourself. But anyway, any feedback for the channel, of course, is always welcome. Leave it down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That always helps. Really appreciate you guys. And hit the bell, hit all for the bell settings. That's when or that's how you'll know when I put up these videos. So, anyways, thank you so much again. This has been the channel update and look back for not only March, but look back on April as well. So, anyways, I'll let you guys go, and my voice as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Sean out.